In this particular video, I am going to discuss about unit testing in Angular. So in the previous video, we have already discussed about basic configuration of Karma and Jasmine and basic flow of the Karma and Jasmine in Angular application, how to do a configuration and a little bit about what is Karma, what is Jasmine, what is the unit testing. Now in this particular video, we will try to understand how we can do the unit testing. Okay, so before going ahead, let's try to understand this component. Then you will able to understand that what is going on in unit testing and what you have to do. So you can notice that this is a component, and in that component we have let's consider app component.html. This is a template. In this template you can see there is a field. One is the user, another one is the password. There is a two field and another is the submit button. So once user will click the submit, then this form will get submit, and this will go to the submit method, because I have written here. So in the submit method, first it will try to check the condition that form is valid or not. If form is valid, then using the service, which is the API service, which I have injected in the constructor in this particular component. So after injecting with the API instance, I am trying to call one method of that particular service, and I am passing some argument, and based on that we are getting a response, but we are getting the response as a observable, so we have to subscribe it. So that's why I have subscribed, because in the real scenario the HTTP call will happen, and after HTTP call you will get a response, right? So you will get a response, and based on that you will do the other activities. So here the same thing I have did, like there is one service, I use this method and pass the parameter and call this method of this particular service, and we will get the data, and whatever data I am getting, I just store it in one variable, which is the data. Let's say I have written a data. So I have used here this keyword, like why we are using this, because you are trying to access the method and property of the same classes, that's why. So this is basically process. So in unit test case, we will try to check this scenario, like if user will user will provide the username and password and they will click the button, then what will happen? The final output will be, if user this field is valid, username and password is valid, then API call will happen, and after API call they will get a response, and that response will be stored in the data. So we will try to check this scenario. Okay, similarly here I am using the reactive form with the help of the form builder. We can, however, we can use the form group as well. So if you will use the form group, and in that form group there can be lots of form control, but here we have to use this new keyword. But in the form builder we just need to inject it, and then we can use in this way. So both are very similar. So I am not going in detail about the reactive form, but I hope you are able to understand. So here in the ng on init, I initialize the form, and during the initialization, for each of this field like user and password, the initial value will be empty string, and then there is some validator like validation. Validation would be, here it is like it is a required, this field is required, password is also required, and this need to be follow the pattern. Okay, the pattern says that the first character will be in small case a to z, then then can be any character like a to z 0 to 9 underscore. So it will accept this one, this range, and then 3 and 13. So user should be at least 3 character, and max to max 13. After the 13 it will be invalid, and suppose if less than 3 character, then it is an invalid pattern. Similarly, if we will add any other special character, then invalid. It means this regex. If this condition, this regex condition will be satisfied, this pattern will get satisfied, then form will be valid. Including required means, of course, user need to provide the user detail, like their name, and then this validation, both of these condition, pattern and required, need to be valid. Similarly for the password, at least in the password pattern, at least small case A to Z should be happen, capital A to Z should be happen, 0 to 9 or any special character should be happen, should need to be there, and then at least password should be 8 character and max to max 12, something like that. So this is basically a pattern. So if this pattern will get satisfied, or if this is user will need to provide any like password, it is a required field. If both of this validation condition will get, pattern and required will get satisfied, then this field will be like valid. So right now for the demo purpose I have used the user and password. So I hope you are able to understand this form. Okay, so just I am providing you some basic background knowledge before going ahead and writing the unit test case, so that you will get a proper idea about the unit test case. Okay, so I have just initialized one form, and then after submit, these things will be happen, and we have to test these things. Okay, so unit test can be happen like, we will during the unit test case we will consider all the scenario, like if this scenario will be happen, then what will be the output, okay, what the output we will expect. So something like that. Suppose if user will provide the username and password in, suppose that HTML, suppose that in DOM, then same data need to be updated in the component. So we will check this case. So this is just for your example. So we will check these things like it is happening or not. And similarly, if someone will use the set value or patch value to update this form, okay, suppose they will try, they are updating this form using the set value and patch value, then same thing is reflecting in component or not. Means suppose this will render into the DOM, then in DOM the updated value need to be there. Okay, so we will consider this scenario as well. So during the test case, we will consider all of this scenario which is required, means which need to be there, and we expect certain thing, and if our expectation will be according what like, so we will consider all these things, all this scenario. Okay, another scenario can be, suppose you have one method. Okay, so you are in the method, if that method are taking during the suppose function call or maybe method call, if you will provide the argument, so based on that argument you will expect the output. So the output will be according to the your expectation, then that test case is passed. So we will try to consider all of this scenario, and each of this scenario test case need to be passed. So for each of this scenario you have to write the test case. But you will say, why I will write so many test case, means why it is necessary. So see, suppose let's consider one scenario. You are working in Angular project and it's a big enterprise project. Okay, so after some period of time a new developer came and they got one task, they have to develop one particular feature. So whatever responsibility like their responsibility is to develop a particular feature, they are concentrating on that part. And suppose in Angular application there is a no test case. So in that scenario what will happen, maybe they will try to change they maybe change the existing code. After changing the existing code, their code will work absolutely fine, so they will make the changes, and they will think that hey, it's fine. But in the previous code they have made the changes and they have not considered all of this scenario to test the software. So they will check, like slightly they will check that its previous code is working fine, and my code is also working fine. So they will say it's okay, right? But because the rare scenario, that scenario is never happened during their test case, means during development, that scenario never happened. That scenario can be happened during the real use case of this product. So if that product will be go to the production, then friends, if that scenario will be happen, then maybe project will be break, and there will be huge loss for the client, because maybe client using this based on that product, software product, they are running a business, and so it can be very huge loss for the client as well. And if the bug will happen, then again it come to the developer, and developer will try to fix it. And for during the fixing this bug, it can be happen that other part of the application is start breaking, because of the one bug, the another bug will become, and they will fall under the loop of this bug. Okay, because it's a very big application, it's not possible to check all, because for the one little changes, it's very difficult to check whole application. Okay, however some company prefer, but practically sometimes it's not possible. People are thinking it's okay when it's working fine. So this so it's required a huge maintenance, and a huge continuously bug will come in different part of the application because of this. So basically these are the thing that we can avoid if we will write the unit test case. So if whenever we will make the changes in the existing code, then our unit test case will get failed, and if unit test case will get failed, then a developer will rethink about their logic, and based on that, if they are more confident, then they can change the unit test case as well, that scenario as well, because in this scenario unit test case is failing. So let's do this scenario is rare and is not required, or maybe whatever, they can make the changes in the unit test case as well if they are more confident. So they will rethink the design. Okay, so this is the major advantage of using the unit test case. Now let's consider another scenario. Suppose if there is a big enterprise application and new developer came, then it is very difficult to understand the logic. But if they will check the test case, then they will understand what is the code, why it is means what the mean of this logic. So they will understand the meaning of the logic. Okay, so this is also a great advantage of writing the unit test case. So this is a very time saving, and your quality of the product will be project quality will be good, because of the unit testing. So that's why we have to write the unit test case. For example, let's go to the I have attempt one question, and I have tried to do with many attempts. So let's consider this one. So this is the wrong answer. Let's go and check why it is wrong. So you can notice friends, that in the 45 scenario my test case is fine. If you will provide this input, then expected output should be this, but I didn't got this output, because in this scenario, in 45 scenario, its test case is passed, but in the few scenario it get failed. So we got these things here. Similarly, I make the changes because I have not checked about this scenario. Now added the code according to that scenario. Now in this scenario you can see 54 test case passed, and then I make the changes according to that scenario as well, and finally I am able to pass all the test case with the 57 test case. So sometimes this rare situations comes, and this unit test case can save your life. Okay, I thought that my code is fine because 45 scenario it's fine, working fine, but I didn't think about this thing, like this scenario, but it can be happen. So if you write the unit test case, then there is a great advantage. So I will create the next video Thank you.